What's up guys, my name's Jeff Walker. I'm a professional motocross racer. MX Locker is a marketplace for the motocross community. I personally use it to get rid of some of my gear after a long outdoor season, so check it out. All you have to do, take a photo, hit upload. It's really that simple, and it lets you connect with some privateers in the sport such as myself. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in once again. I hear 2023 is the year of the mustache. You guys can see I'm sporting this little bad mamma jamma today. So, mustache making the debut on the channel. You guys will have to let me know what you think. Personally, I think I got a nice little lip sweater going on here. We'll see how long it lasts. In all seriousness though, in the last video, you guys would have seen I unveiled the brand new 2023 bike. Freshy KTM, absolutely love to see it. I truly believe that this is gonna take me to, my best finishes this year, maybe some top 15s. A couple people in the comment section of the last video asked me what my goals are this year, and I'm setting them pretty high. I wanna start the season close to or in the points, try and slowly work my way into the top 15 and just put myself in a good position to, towards the end of the season, if any of the factory guys get hurt, at least put my name in the discussion to be kind of like a fill-in ride for the last couple of rounds or something like that. In the past, I would have thought that that is absolutely impossible, but with how last season went and how much hard work I've been putting in this season, and on top of that, just seeing it happen to a couple of the other guys that are around my skill level. Kevin Moran's got a fill-in ride with the Rocky Mountain team back in 2021. Rod Bell got a fill-in on the Twisted Tea Suzuki team last season. It's crazy to say, but I feel like I'm just not far off of kind of being one of those guys. So that's really my goal. I want to get one weekend on a factory bike this year, and so I'm gonna try real hard to make that happen. But in order for that to happen, we gotta have a good bike. We're starting it off with a great platform, and you guys will see behind me, we got some rather tasty upgrades back there for the new bike. So what do you say we go check that out and then get working on this thing, get all those on so that we can finally take this thing to the track. It's obviously freezing out here in Michigan, but I'm planning out some south trips, and maybe before I go down south, I'll take it to an indoor track nearby and shred it. But before we do that, let's go take a look at these upgrades and get this thing race ready. Starting off here, we got the tried and true trusty cone valves. I've had these things for a couple years, and we got a brand new setting from the boys over at Turbo Speed Tuning. Had great success with them last year. Absolutely love their stuff. If you guys are looking to get your stuff done this winter, don't hesitate to reach out to Mitch and the boys over there. Their suspension is good enough for a top 20 at a pro national, so definitely not bad stuff if I do say so myself. As always, got some beautiful bling from P3 Carbon. Not only is it beautiful, but also is going to protect our frame, so that's really nice. Absolutely crucial to have a frame guard on your bike, especially at the pro nationals where the jumps are massive, mainly because when you case the jump, your frame rails can dig into the dirt and send you over the handlebars. So I always make sure, I don't ride a bike if it doesn't have a skid guard on there, because I don't want that to happen. Got the Twin Air goodies, keep the air flowing into this thing nice and fresh, and for the first time ever, I'm pairing it up with one of Twin Air's power flow systems. You can see this is a really nice open aluminum cage, very rounded on the front here. Stock KTM filter cage on the old bike had a sharp point on the tip, and it would always kind of mess up the filters, so this will be really good, and then the open design will let a lot more airflow in there, so that's gonna keep it nice and cool and make sure we're getting the most horsepower that we can get out of this thing, so that's good. Speaking of horsepower, we're back with Yoshimura this year. Got the brand new RS12 system for the new bike, which, oh my goodness, it's absolutely beautiful. Almost feels bad putting this thing on a motorcycle because of how good it looks, but you know what? It's gonna sound even better. Can't wait to get that on and see how it sounds. Absolutely loved the Yoshimura RS12 that I ran on my 21 250 race bike. Only reason I didn't run it last year is because I was still on the old style KTM, and they didn't make the RS12 for the old style because right as they were making the RS12, the new KTM came out, so they just focused their efforts into making the RS12 for the new KTM. But now that I'm on the new KTM, the boys at Yoshimura hooking it up, absolutely excited to see how that stuff sounds. Then of course we're sticking with the sort of orange, pink, and purpley gradient here that we kind of came up with last year. Working with a new company, SKDA, this season, so those boys absolutely crushed it. Staying with MX Locker, active, got the KTM logo on there, obviously. Stuff looks really good. I'm really excited to be working with SKDA. They made a huge push to work with a bunch of privateers in the sport last year. You guys probably saw Jerry Robbins' Supercross bikes from last season and outdoors. He had some really cool replica designs of famous sporting teams and just some really cool designs. So excited to be working with them this this year. This kit came out absolutely fire, so we'll get that on today as well. And then my favorite setup from Renthal, you guys already know, I run the twin wall 997 handlebar, so we got a fresh pair of those. I'll probably run the stock gearing for a little bit until it wears out, but once that wears out, we got some fresh Renthal chain and sprockets in my preferred gearing. I run a 1349, stock is a 1351, but I kind of like to lengthen my setup a little bit, just so that it's a little bit less torquey and pulls a little bit more on top. I'm not someone who loves a whole lot of torque. I like my bike to be a little more controllable so that it doesn't wear me out. So typically I go down a couple teeth in the rear or up a tooth in the front. So stock 1351, I'll probably end up 1349, but it's a new bike, haven't really ridden it yet, so we'll see what gearing I end up with. I'll keep you guys updated on that, but whatever it is, it will be Renthal. And then, of course, a freshy thing of grease, because we are gonna get greasing this thing up. Before I ever ride my bikes, I like to grease the headset bearing and grease all of the linkage and swing arm bearings as well, because you just never really know how that stuff comes from the factory, and you just bought a $10,000+ motorcycle. You need to make sure the thing is dialed before you go out there and ride it so that you don't destroy it. So that's what we're getting up to. It just dawned on me though that I didn't even start this thing and let you guys hear it in the last video. Like, how dare I? So what do you say we warm this thing up, take it out on the driveway, let her rev a little bit so you guys can hear it, and then also that will serve as a double purpose for later. When we get the Yoshi on, we'll do the same thing, kind of do like a before and after. That is really cold out, but I do it for you guys. Bike doesn't sound too bad stock, maybe a little choked down, but I remember thinking when I put the Yoshi on my 250, even when the whole rest of the bike was stock, it made it sound like a full-on mod motor, so definitely excited to get it on this thing. I'm done talking though. I'm excited to work on this thing, learn the ins and outs of it, and so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start from the front end forward, take the forks off, grease the headset, do the bars, and just work my way on back to the exhaust and doing the linkage and all that. So throw you on the time lapse as usual and get working on this machine. my goodness. Look at this machine, ladies and gentlemen. Could not have even imagined it turning out this absolutely epic. You always have a vision when you're starting out a project, and time again, all the awesome sponsors that I work with just absolutely knock it out of the park and completely go beyond my expectations, and this bike is no different. Turned out way sicker than I was even imagining or hoping for, and dude, super excited to ride this thing. Do a quick little sweep for you guys. Always running the Renthal 997 twin wall, turbo speed tuning, cone valves, the beautiful Yoshimura header pipe and silencer. Dude, freaking looks awesome. I really missed running the Yoshimura. I'm super glad that I can work with those guys again, because dude, that thing looks absolutely mean. Down from the exhaust, we got the P3 carbon skid plate. Thing is beautiful. All the linkage and everything is nice and greased up and ready to go. Frame protection on point. Get a little bit of grip out of it, as well as some protection, so that's always nice. And yeah, SKDA absolutely crushed it with the graphics setup, dude. I could not be happier with this thing. I think it looks super epic. You guys will have to let me know what you think, but I am stoked. What do you say to cap this video off? We take the new Yoshi outside, fire it up, and hear what this thing sounds like. And then in the next video, hopefully we'll be at a track shredding this thing. The weather's getting pretty nice next week up here in Michigan. It's gonna be like mid-40s, so if a backyard sand track is open, I'm gonna be taking this thing out here and shredding it, you already know. Otherwise, we might just pack up and head down to like south of the border, or somewhere in South Carolina or something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna warm this thing up and then we'll take it outside and let it rip, wake up the neighbors.